Podcast. My name is Ken Joslin. I have the honor to serve as your host today, Growth Stack Drive, where we help business professionals build confidence, gain clarity, and create community. And today, guys, is a special guest, my good friend, none other than Anthony Trucks. I can go through this list, bro. You've done it all, from NBC to American Ninja Warrior, first NFL guy to complete the American Ninja Warrior course. Yes, hit the buzzer. Wall Street Journal, Success Magazine, name it. This guy's been there, and dude, man loves God. He's got an amazing family, and is one of the main reasons that we've been able to scale and grow the way we have over the past year. Anthony Trucks, what's up, homie?
Hey, yo, man. Hey, you know what's funny? I can now add, I've been on Fox. The other day, I was a couple of days ago, I filmed a show nobody knew about in August last year in Portugal called Mental Samurai. And so I was on Fox like on Tuesday night. I think it was Tuesday night.
I saw that. I saw that on your Instagram.
A bunch of weird. I do a bunch of weird stuff, man. You know what? I like life. I think there's something about life that people miss out on. There's an amazing plan, I think, and sometimes people mess it up by whatever gets in the way, making reasons or excuses or not doing things now so they're prepared for the opportunity when it comes. But, dude, I just do a bunch of things. People are like, how do you do all this weird stuff? I'm like, it's not that weird. It's just life, and I'm just living it. And if you think it's weird, like that's telling of you.
We had a conversation off air just a minute ago, and we talked about that. Because we were just kind of talking about what's going on in both of our worlds right now. And you were picked by Clubhouse to do a show. I want you to talk a little bit about that, but I want to get into what we talked about as far as, dude, we just love life and we love people and we are super passionate about what we do. Talk about the Clubhouse and then talk about that passion and the passion for living life and really helping people win, man.
Yeah, man. That's life. That's gonna be I guess my full story. We don't gotta go that deep if we don't need to, but man, you know, I think at a certain point in time, you ever had a whole bunch of hamburgers? Let's say you had 10 hamburgers. Sounds odd. Just go with me here, man. I'm telling you, so my brain works, but you're gonna be like, oh, I get it. Say you got 10 hamburgers. Well, if I'm starving right now and I got 10 hamburgers in a bag, I'm gonna eat a hamburger. I'm gonna feel good. That first hamburger tastes delicious, right? I'm still a little bit hungry, but let me put the second hamburger down. But the third hamburger, man, I'm like, this is a lot of hamburgers. By the end of the third, I'm like, I can't have another hamburger, but I got these 7 hamburgers. What do I do with the rest of these hamburgers? I still want to feel good. What do I do? Well, what you do is you give them to somebody else who's hungry. And now I feel good. Different kind of feel good, but I feel good. So that person gets to eat on his hamburgers. And now he gets 2 or 3 down. He's like, oh, 3 down. I still have 4 hamburgers. I keep giving them away. And what you do is you create that. So when you ask about this life and why you change lives, I have at points in my life for a long time been starving. And when I say starving, I mean down and out in the dark. I had someone today ask me, are you really happy? I'm like, I'm ridiculous happy. It is weird at this point in my life. I get so happy it hurts. It's an odd thing. Like I look at my wife and my life and my kids and I'm like, oh, my heart swells. So yeah, I'm incredibly happy, but it's not because I just am happy. I had a lot of dark moments and then I learned how to get hamburgers. You know what I'm saying? And then once you have hamburgers, you're like, do I got a bunch of hamburgers? What do I do now? I want to feel good. Well, I'm going to start giving these hamburgers out. So I'm giving out these messages, these life lessons, these concepts. I'm teaching people how to be able to go out and create hamburgers for themselves. You know what I mean? So yes, 100% for me, the life I've lived of, you know, being given away as a kid at 3, enduring hardships, growing up in a poor all white family, like getting called racial slurs and stuff. And then going through like, you know, the ups and downs of being good at sports and bad at sports, having a kid young, divorced, remarried, like craziness. There's a lot of things in life that we don't got to go into it. But at this point, man, I got a lot of hamburgers, bro. And I'm like, I got more hamburgers than I can hand out. So you guys just start. And so this is what I do. And I have a blast doing it. My family is fed. My family is funded. My heart is fed. My heart is funded. So I fund other people in doing so. And one of the things is Clubhouse is its new one because the app came out and I love the concept, right? I love it. I've wanted to find a reason to get on there consistently. And I go on, I hang out. I do this a lot. I talk and I have a blast just rapping and rolling. I have a podcast you've been on. We just get to chat, man. I love humanity. And so what I did is somehow some email or something came across my feed of like, hey, apply to have a show on Clubhouse. So I was like, all right, I'll fill it out. And I honestly was like halfway, like I'll fill it out. And I filled it out. It took like 5 minutes, put it up there, threw some ideas out and then forgot about it. And then I get a reach out like a month ago. They're like, hey, you got selected out of 5,000 applicants. You're one of the top 60. we're going to let you run a pilot show. We're going to give you some money to get it all set up. I was like, cool. Now I already have the studio, right? I didn't need any technology stuff. I was like, let me gussy this thing up. I got audios made, dude. You want to hear? I got some of the audios.
Let's hear it. Let's hear it, homie.
Bro, here we go. This is going to be the intro to the show, which is called The Shift Show. Here we go.
3, 2, 1. Welcome to The Shift Show. It's our time. Connecting you with an ever-growing community of talent and success.
You are going to elevate at a very high level.
Together, we'll discuss, address,
so
and
cool.
overcome obstacles, hardships, and experiences that will ultimately take you to the next level.
You cannot achieve success without failure.
Embrace your struggle. Embrace your grind.
Let's get
I'm just glad you didn't try to rap on my show again.
No, I don't rap, bro, but that's my intro. Here's the thing. I was like, why not make it a fun show? Why not have people like a radio show do it? So I was like, I'm going to do it right. So we got this show, and I did a pilot, and I had like 9 people on. I had Brendan Burchard, Mel Robbins, Mel Abraham, Dean was there. Dave Hollis was on there, Evan Carmichael. We had Lisa Bilyeu, Tom Bilyeu, Gloaton Mo, and Craig Clemens. And we all went on and just chatted, man. And I had little segments. We did little like this.
Hey, yo, it's time.
What are you talking about?
It's time to talk some shift.
What are you talking
That's
about?
it, little stuff.
Talking shift.
Watch your mouth.
That's it, man. Just do little segments. I was like, let me do little segments like you do. And so I created this cool thing. And then at the end of the day, you're done with it. You hear nothing. And then on, I think it was Monday night. No, it was Tuesday night. I get an email that says, hey, you got the show. So now they're going to pay me monthly to run a cool show that I get to curate and craft and put on Clubhouse twice a week, which would be like awesome. 8 times a month. And I'm looking forward to it, man, because I get to go on, hang out with cool people, chat and talk. Like it's awesome, man. I love it. Dude. It's one of those things that I get to give back, man. I really am looking forward to it. But that's how that came to be. I'm of 5,000 people, I was chosen to be in the top 25. That's it. I'm in the top 25 of the individuals who applied for the thing, and I got to have a cool show. That's that story. That's the end of that one.
Hey, let's talk real quick. Obviously, we're getting ready for boot camp. We've got our boot camp in a couple weeks in Scottsdale. You're going to be one of the speakers that are there. Mm-hmm. Really, what I love to do, and you do, but like kind of the vernacular we put it in is helping business professionals build confidence, gain clarity, and create community. Yeah. And when you really get all 3 of those pillars down, it does allow you to live a life. Like when people watch you, they're like, dude, this dude's having a blast. Like this guy just loves life. And I can say this on the other side of the camera, just sitting down in Walnut Grove, right outside of Oakland, California, grabbing a salad or grabbing some pizza or drinking a cold beer with you for a few hours and just talking shop, just chopping it up. Dude, you're the same guy all the time.
So I know what it'll be, man.
You're the same guy all the time.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of work to not be this guy.
That is the truth. But tell people, like, Anthony, what's been the secret or the key for you to live life? I call it life giving. Like there are people you get around that are just life giving. You're one of those kind of guys. Why?
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I work at it. I work at my own life, so I have something to give. You can't pour from an empty cup. And you can't teach somebody how to run a race you haven't run, or you can't teach somebody until you cross the finish line, essentially. But there's this statement that I randomly spit out a couple of weeks ago that apparently people seem to like, because I do that. I do live streams and stuff, and I say stuff for no reason. And here's one that I said: I have done way too much in the dark for you to take what's mine in the light. Mm-hmm. And so what I do is like I live in the darkness in a very bright way. Like I don't do dumb stuff. I love my wife with actions. I love my kids with actions. I show up. I'm consistent. People try to poke into my world. I did this TV show on Tuesday, and you had people text me like, hey, want to have some fun conversations? No, chick, I do not. I'm a happily married man. It's harmless. What are you talking about? Are you a psychopath? Like, harmless? Do you know how that would ruin lives? Like, we're not. But that's the thing is, I live it clean in the dark, man. And so 2 things. One, when I go to the light, I got a light heart. There aren't people that can come out of the woodwork and say, oh, look what he did. You don't even know. Look, there's a secret I know. And I think when you got that skeleton you haven't shared with the world in the background, it's tough to climb, because like, when am I come tumbling down? It's like a dang, I'm gonna get shot in the dark and I have no idea one day. So I don't have that going on. I can live life and I can go be bright. But then 2, I have this ability to have confidence in myself when I approach the world that I know will have problems. Because the world will have problems. It's just, that's what life is. It's just a collection of weird things that happen between our plans. But I realize I bring me to those problems. And I like that. I like those odds. I love those odds because I do the work in the dark. So I show up for Anthony. Like when I got to get up and get a workout, I get the workout. When I record something, I got to record it. I got to work out later today. It's going to be like 2 hours and no one will know if I don't do it hard, but I will, you know? And so when I know who I am, because I've done the work in the dark, you will not take what's mine in the light, even if that's me providing joy to the world, providing just a smile and a conversation. Doesn't matter what it is. I'm going to give it to you. Because I wouldn't did the work to earn the right to give it to you. And if you don't want it, that's cool. Somebody else might want the hamburger. But the idea for me is like I do this work in the background that allows me to have this bolstering of self and pride that quite literally anybody can have by doing their own version of it in the background. I am not special in this. I am not unique to hard work. Everybody has this. But I think people perceptively see it a different thing of like, oh, it's going to be hard. It's difficult. And why am I? And they have this conversation. And the conversation is the killer. You don't have the conversation. You just do the work. And after a while, you realize like, oh, it's easy. And then you just get used to it, that it's easy for you to do that work. And then now life becomes smoother. Life becomes easier. You're still doing the same work, but you're strong enough so it feels easy. So now I can keep doing my thing, building my life. And I got energy to spare, man. Like when I first wanted to like run, like my wife wanted to do a triathlon. I wanted to run. I ran like a mile and I was done, gassed after a mile. But I built up the stamina. But the more I could build up, now I could run like at one point, like 13 miles I'm running, no big deal. And the idea is I just built it up, but like it becomes easier to do that mile. Now that mile, that's the warm up. You know what I'm saying? Right. So in life, when you keep looking at the warm ups, like the workouts, you'll never make it.
So where did that come from? Like, where did you get that instilled into you, Anthony, where you said, yeah, I know if I put the work in over here, there's going to be an ease or almost a wind at your, it's in your sail to be able to do what you do in public?
I think that the conscious part of it didn't happen until like early 30s, to be honest. Like I wasn't until my early 30s, like, oh, this is what I've been doing all my life. I've been doing it. I started first time was 15 years old, man. So I first started playing football. I was horrible. I was trash at football and I had to figure out how to get good at it. And the only way to get good at it is to do the things to get good at it. But that it's hard to do, like I wasn't fast. I couldn't catch a football very well. I didn't know how to move my body right. And I spent this one off season after I'd given up. I was like, you know what? I'm done with this game. Then I was like, no, I got to figure this out. What do good football players do? And I started doing those things. And yeah, I got teammates making fun of me because they're like, bro, you suck. Why are you out here doing this? And like, but I kept doing my thing. And little by little, I got to be stronger and faster. And I fell in love with the process. I tell people you got to fall in love with the day, not just the destination. When you fall in love with the day, you'll reach the destination. But those who can't love the day will get burned out. So I fell in love with the day of getting up and the heart. Like my workout today, it looks horrible, but I palpably can taste the enjoyment I'll have for the pain. I don't know if that makes sense to most people, but like the thought of how I'm going to be dying in about 5 hours, like let's do it. Like there's something to that. So for me, it's like I did it back then. And it keeps showing up in life, in college, in my relationships, as a parent, it kept showing up. I just find ways to do this work of what does it take to be great at that thing. And really what it boils down to for me is the work I do is identity. I want to be the person who is a great football player. I don't want to do the things a great football player does. I want to be the person who's a great football player. Because when you are that person, you naturally do those things, but you have the added confidence. So I didn't want to do what a good parent does. I want to be a good parent. I don't want to do what a great husband did. I want to be a great husband. And it's a differentiation because when I am that person, I naturally do those things. They're easy to do. In fact, I feel weird and out of alignment if I don't do them, where one's work, it's like, oh, I got to trudge against it. One's like, yeah, okay, you way to go, man. I feel pride. So when I approach life at this conscious level of what I'm doing, anything I find that's hard, I'm like, cool, this is difficult, but like, who am I becoming while I do this? Because when this thing that moves the needle is easy, dude, then I'm in a new level. I'm in a new bubble and I get access to the information of what it takes to keep going higher. Because a lot of us see people like, you'll say Grant, or I'll say like Tony, we'll say Brendan, we'll say Oprah. We see them and go, man, they got some cool stuff. They are at a level consciously and operationally that many people, myself included, can't comprehend just yet. It's like trying to understand the mind of God. They're not gods by any means. I'm not saying that. But like, it's so far out of your brain. You look at it, you think you see what it is, but you don't know what it is yet, man. And it's not until you tackle this set of problems, you get the access to the next set of problems. Mm-hmm. And when you approach those, you'll be like, this is craziness. What do? You tackle them. You go, okay, I solved this problem. You get access to the next set of problems. It just keeps going like that for life. A lot of people, they're looking at this level here like that's the peak. That's not even it. That's like level 1 of 1,000, you know? And so for me, like when you can fall over the day, you get to access those levels consistently because you love what it takes to access the levels. When you're only worried about that destination, you will never reach past the current one.
I love that. One of the things I say all the time, and I'll put this in some vernacular that's going to be easy for you to understand, is think first downs, not touchdowns.
There you go.
Just move the ball 10 yards down the field and get a first down. And guess what that comes with? 4 brand new downs. Move the ball 10 more yards. And eventually, as you start stacking, I had Jeff Finster on the other day, and Jeff calls it win stacking. When you start stacking those little wins together, eventually you're going to wind up in the end zone.
Well, goal line, then it's going to be first and goal. You know what I mean?
That's
and eventually
exactly
first down is going to be the touchdown. Yeah, I get it.
Right.
Well done, man.
You're going to put some
little sound. You need a round of applause for that one, dog.
Go ahead, give it to me.
Good job. I like that one, man.
I love what you said just a minute ago. And so we've got a mutual friend, Carlos Reyes. I was on the phone with Carlos a little bit yesterday, and the three of us were kind of texting back and forth.
Yeah.
I went to lunch with Carlos in Phoenix back in January when I was planning this boot camp we've got in a couple of weeks. First Rolls Royce I ever rode in was with Carlos, and we sat at lunch that day, right? And he was asking me, "Hey, what's your goal this year?" I said, 1.35 million. This is our second. This is going to be my first full year in coaching and consulting at Growth Stack Drive, and I never forget. We're having a conversation. I was like, yes. And Carlos just leaned across the table. And he goes, "Brother, maybe you need to be thinking about $1 million a month." And I'll be honest with you, I looked at him and I said, "This is exactly what I told him." I said, "Dude, I can't even wrap my head around that right now. I can't even wrap my head around, generating revenue of $1 million a month." But Carlos has been places I have not been. And you talked about that. What are some of the things, or let me say this. What are some of the relationships that you have sought or that you have built in order to help unlock your mindset to be able to believe at a different level, Anthony?
Yeah. So it's funny. I don't know if I've proactively sought out a lot of relationships. And here's what I've found. Whenever you're on a certain path, like people who notice you're on the path, they want to come hang out. If you ever hike a mountain and there's like different trails and like you're just walking along, and after a while, like that person's been there and they're like watching you're going to the same path. Eventually, like, "Hey man, where you going?" The conversation starts. And all of a sudden, like, "Oh, we're walking together," I think for me, I've always sought the next level, whatever that was. And then in seeking the next level, other people are where you're seeking it. And they're like, "I am too." And then we connect, you keep going. That's how me and Carlos and you connected yesterday. Yeah. To be honest, an hour earlier, a guy named Larry Hagner connected us in the chat. And I don't know if it was on purpose or I don't know. It was just weird. It was like I'm talking an hour before the exact same, "Hey, get me this guy, Carlos." Then you're like, "Hey," I'm like, "Did Carlos go? Is he trying to find me?" And I know he wasn't, but like, that's just weird how like when you're on the path, people come along. So for me, man, I think it's always been that perspective of I just got to go down the path and people who are on it will find me. And that's really been a perspective. But there is this truth. I realize that for me, like I got to be around the people who make me uncomfortable. And what we typically do is as humans, we like to be in bubbles and spaces with comfort. Most humans do. There's that statement of you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. And I don't think people grasp what this really means. And a real quick caveat, we'll call it, sidebar. Whenever I think of comfortable, I think of like, sitting there on maybe it's a nice winter night with the fire on, hot chocolate, families on the couch, watching my favorite movie. And it's palpable. It's gonna great, right? I have that kind of level of joy and comfort with discomfort. And it's a weird thing. And I don't know how people develop that 100%, but I just know that I know what discomfort brings in the back end. So I love leaning into it. I know it's like craving. I know what it's going to bring for me. I don't like that moment, but I know what it's going to bring, right? So when I take a look at this, people want to be so comfortable that they'll stay in friend groups that are below the level of expectations they have to have. Because I don't think the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. I believe the average of the expectations of the 5 people. If I want to make $1 million this year, I could hang out with a bunch of, people that are millionaires, and that would get me there. But what if I want to make 2 million? Well, if I'm hanging with the guys who want to be good at $1 million, $2 million, it's not a good group anymore. If the guy makes $500,000, like I want to make 4 million, he's my dude, man. Let's figure out how to get to that level. I want to go past the 1 million minded men, right? And it's not a bad thing. It's just an obvious kind of idea. So what I do is I go, when I'm in these bubbles of people and I've risen to the top of the group, I will sense my comfort and go, I don't like this. I don't, not that I don't like the people, but I need to be in a room where people say things and my stomach tightens up and I go, oh, I never thought of that. Well, why would you, I gotta be in that room. And it's kind of like, it's like stepping into a room that's like, if let's say I'm out in the South and I wake up in my hotel room and it's nice and I got the air conditioner on. When I step outside, all of a sudden that mugginess hits my face immediately, right? That's the difference it has to feel like when you walk into a room with the men and women you want to be around, that we're going to get you to a higher level. So when you say seek it out, I will feel like, hey, the level I'm at, I'm good. I feel comfortable, but there's something missing. There's not that climb. When I say fall in love with a day, not just destination, my days are riddled with things that make me feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I like the feeling. I have comfort there. So I seek men and women who are doing things that I can honestly be like, bro, I'm not even at your level, bro. Teach me. Hey, how can I, because people don't like being by themselves. And I think what happens is when they're comfortable in this accepted group here, the fear is if I leave this group, I'm by myself. And if I go to the next group, I'm the outcast. No one's going to like me. So I'm going to stay here so I can feel comfortable. And I don't want to be by myself. So I'm not going to leave this group. So I get stuck in this bubble here. And I'm like, no, leave the group. You can love them from a distance. Being solo is okay because you got strength. You're not going to die. And that group you want to be part of that you think you'll be inadequate for, they want to see you rise. They want to give hamburgers. You know what I'm saying? So go and get some of them burgers, bro.
I love that. I write every day in my journal. This is my quote. Get in rooms with people who think bigger than you do. It literally has been the game changer for me over the past 14 or 15 months. And it's getting in rooms. The first conversation I ever had with Grant was an impromptu, bumped into him in a private hallway with about 5 people. And he looked at me and he said, what are you here for? And I said, I'm here to blow the lid off my mindset of what's a lot of money. So I can help. Exactly what I told him. I said, because I was a church planner one time and it was hard. And I want to help church planners have the right mindset, and not only just have the right mindset, but understand what it's going to take for them to raise the finances they need to be able to plant a church effectively and not worry how their family is going to make it financially because they're out doing the kingdom work. Like that's exactly what I told him. But get in rooms with people who think bigger than you do. We're 2 weeks away. Bro, Sharon Lecter, Greg Reed, you, Carlos Reyes, Sal, Carlos's partner, Alex, one of his other partners, Steve Train, Tori Cruz, Bill Walsh, Scott Duffy. Dude, I mean, it's just the list just keeps going on and on and on and on. Why is it important for somebody to come connect with us in Scottsdale?
Because, man, proximity is something you can't. You ever go on a vacation and then you go to vacation? Here's what happens on vacation. I go on a vacation. What do we look forward to doing? We look forward to just simply sitting in a chair. I want to sit in a chair by water on sand in the sun. I'm dead serious. That's really what happens. I'm going to leave my house where I have a chair and I have a sky and I have wind outside. I'm going to leave this house. I'm going to go to a different place that it's a chair. You know what I mean? The only difference is the environment. That's what changes it. Human beings, we need to change an environment. And when you're in a different environment, it breeds a ground for you to grow. It just does. So people I get the virtual thing. I love it. It's there. But there's nothing like being in person with a human being. There's so much more in like the conversation, the closeness, the back and forth. It's not just a camera and sitting here. It's like moving and grooving and looking and multiple people. It's just, there's something special. And so for me, what I tell people is like, yeah, you could be like, yeah, I'm going to get it from, I watch YouTube videos and I see these guys on the internet. You don't know me till you know me, we could do this all day, but it ain't I can sit down, hang out with you, it's just, there's a different human connection. So people who are out there like, man, I want to play at a higher level. Well, first off, you got to get in the room with higher level people. We just talked about that. 2, you got to do it in proximity, in person. There's those, some of the best conversations I ever have that have grown me are the ones in the green room. Behind the scenes. It's not this right here when the guy was, all right, I'm dialed in, I got my book and I got my camera on, all right, we're hitting live, let's go, Ken, that this is a moment, but it ain't the ones that change. It's the ones behind the scenes that I'm sitting back and I'm just like, dude, man, I had this craziness go, what happened, man? Oh, bro. And then we just remember that night, we sat down that night after the event was done. It was like 11 o'clock with your team. We just wrapped and rolled and life just unfolded, right? And it turned into this. That's the magic. that people miss. And so if someone's sitting like, man, should I go? Yeah. If you want to be great, go. If you're sitting there going, but I don't know if it's for me and I don't know the investment, then you know what? Then the dream you keep telling yourself, you need to go ahead and tuck it away. I tell my son this, either one, you got to get in your head what it takes to get that dream to be real, or get the dream out of your head. There's two options, man. Get into your head what it takes to have the dream, or get out of your head that dream. And so if someone's sitting there going, man, I got this dream, well, this is what it takes. And if you don't want to do that, then, man, you might have to get the dream out of your head and move to the next one. But this is the environment of people who actually live in the dreams that you have.
You know, I had a buddy of mine. I went to Grant's Mastermind June of last year. It was a $10,000 mastermind. I had a buddy of mine call me. It's 2 days with Grant. There's like 30 of us. Buddy of mine called me from Detroit. He owns a bunch of auto repair shops right around Detroit and Ann Arbor. And John called me on the phone. He goes, dude, Grant's got a mastermind. Have you heard about it? I said, no. He goes, it's $10,000. And this is the next statement out of his mouth was dude, you're exactly right. This is what he said. He said, imagine how many years we can shave off of our development and the growth of our business by going and sitting with him for 2 days.
That's all that matters.
Oh, and I was like absolutely blown away. And with the lineup that we've got, dude, I can't just even that weekend with Grant and then just you and I sitting 3 hours having grilled chicken salad in Walnut Fork or Walnut Grove or wherever you're at, Little House on the Prairie place, Walnut Creek.
Yeah.
There's no telling how much just our conversations for you and I have shaved off of my development and the growth of our organization because of where you've already been. And that proximity is huge.
And it's hard because it's like whenever people go to we'll call it sell things, like it's hard to sell community. You know what I mean? Like people don't join things for the community. Typically they join them for the outcome, but they stay for a community. So like, for example, people join network marketing programs and they'll say it's a bunch of cool people. And what happens is people join for the opportunity of the business to make them money, but they get in and why do they stay? Because they're upline, the downline, it's the community. They just
relationships. And
as much as people see that, whenever they're looking at moments like this, they're like, oh, but what am I going to learn? And what's going to be the takeaway? And what it's not even, I'm telling you, if you think about it conceptually, that's part of it. But the real value, you walk away from that thing inspired. You walk away with new connections and a new way of thinking. You get into the room, you go, oh man, I just walked out into the South from the air conditioned room. Like it's hot. I didn't even realize this. And it's those seeds. Cause I think as human beings, we work subconsciously towards a palpable dream, like a dream and a desire we can picture, we can taste. As I tell people, if you want to get a new house, I want you to go to an open house in Beverly Hills, in the nice areas, go to an open house. Yeah, you ain't going to buy the house, but I want you to go stand in the master bedroom, go look in that backyard, go sit in that kitchen, bro. Take a look at what it looks like. Because now when you think about what you're doing right now, do I get up early? Do I get the workout? Do I make that email? I'm attached to a different thought. It's not like it's arbitrary, like a Men's Health magazine picture of something. Like I know what that kitchen feels like. I touch the counter, you know? And when you have that kind of connection to something, you are driven in a way subconsciously that people look at you and go, are you crazy? I think Grant's post, one of my favorite ones he's ever done. He says, some people call me crazy. Successful people call me for advice.
Yes.
That's a different breed, right? That's a different level, different flow. And that's saying something about being crazy enough to actually understand what it means. That's out of bounds statement. You know what I'm saying? Like that dude, he's a little, you know what I'm saying? But that's fire. And that mentality happened because of the way the individual sees. I don't even think at his level right now. There's no way I could, right? No. But I'm aware that it exists up there. So people that are sitting here going like, no, I'm going to sit at home. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to do my thing. No, you got to get into proximity of people where you can feel what it's like. Because when you can feel it, man, it puts a different anchor to you. So when you leave that place, you're building into something you can taste and you can touch.
You know what? You've seen The Matrix?
Hell yeah, I've seen The Matrix.
I tell people all the time, like literally it's The Matrix. It's like you have before you a red pill or a blue pill.
True.
And when you walk into the right room with the right people and the right relationships, it's like your eyes being opened for the first time and you're going, oh my God, I've been living life attached to this, thinking everything was good because in my mind I'm seeing, but I just really wasn't alive. And now I'm alive. And it happens when you get in rooms with amazing people who have done unbelievable things and have a heart and DNA to be able to help you experience those same things.
That's it, man. Dude, last time we chatted, or actually at the last boot camp we did, there was a woman there who she came reluctantly. Her husband dragged her. And I still kind of chatted a little bit. And there's a crazy story behind the scenes. I'm just to say that there was a very deep and hurtful dynamic that had happened like 15 years or something in the previous, and it was a heavy one. Do you know about this thing?
Oh yeah.
Oh, dude, I'm not going to say her name, or I'm not even say the situation, but it's crazy because like she came and like you think like I'm gonna learn some stuff. After I got done, before I took off, me and her sat and talked for like 7-8 minutes, and just had a chat about some stuff she was going on. It was heavy, and I gave her my perspective. She went back and she did the thing that I was like, I don't know if it's gonna work, but she did it. And the light that she has right now, it is creepy cool to see. She would not have got that in any other way. There's no way she gets that, because she's not going to reach out to me on Instagram. She's not going to come watch a video and get that. There's no way it's happening. Quite literally, I can say that the way her life is operating right now is changed. The way she interacts with her relationships, everything is, and that's something that she would have never got if she wasn't dragged to be in proximity, right? So people are sitting there going, well, I don't know what I'm going to get from, I don't know what I'm going to get. I don't know what you're going to get, but I guarantee if you show up, you get something. Like everybody gets a prize, and it's this thing where I wish people would take the leap for themselves, because it doesn't benefit me any different. I'm going, if there's one person or 5 people, I'm still going to give my all, but why not be there to get that? Like, why not be there to get that thing for you that you can look back on and go, that changed my life? Literally, it's possible.
I love it, dude. Anthony, where's the best place for people to get in contact with you, bro?
I don't know, man. I'm don't call me right now, because I am way too busy to handle anybody's messages. I love people, but I am inundated right now with all this craziness going on. It's all good blessings. I was telling you before we got on, like, totally cool. I absolutely love humanity and I love the success, but it's hard. But no, if you really want to reach me, I'm accessible. It's a little bit harder. But if you go to Instagram at Anthony Trucks, or go to textanthony.com and just say, hey, like I have a text app that I go into every couple days. I really get in and spend time there. Sometimes I'll be bored, but like I'll be the one messaging. No one else has access to message. So if you go to textanthony.com and say, hey, you start a conversation with me in there.
I had somebody DM me. So my Brad Lee podcast dropped the other day, and it got like, he dropped 2 videos. So one was like 40,000 views. One was like 45,000 views. So I'm getting DMs like crazy.
Oh, it's fire, bro. I loved it. Did I tell you I watched it? I liked it.
I appreciate that, though.
Oh, man. I meant to message you, but I get sidetracked in social. I watched. I was like, this dropping bombs, bro. Well done. I like that.
I appreciate that. So I had somebody. So I sent DMs to everybody who followed me. It was like 400 some odd people in 2 days. And a guy shot me a DM back, and he goes, hey, I know there's probably somebody on your team. I know that you're real busy. Well, I shot him a video. I said, bro, nobody touches my Instagram but me. So listen, if you guys want to connect with Anthony, it's at Anthony Trucks. Dude, he's got some bombs he's dropping right now on steps to stand out online, to be able to take your Instagram to another level, the Clubhouse, the Makeshift Happen movement that he's doing. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. There are probably a handful of people in the world that I would say are some of my favorite people, and this guy right here is one of them. He has been a huge reason on why we are where we are. And it's been a mindset thing. Every time I get around Anthony, it's Proverbs 27:17 says iron sharpens iron. And Anthony's been one of those guys that has sharpened me. He has a 10,000 foot view of what we're doing in my life and in our organization. And dude, it's always an honor to have you, in with us, to be able to communicate and connect with our people, dude.
Yeah, man. Excited, bro. Count me in, dog. I like, someone told me years ago, good people find good people. And that's always been my motto. And I let it all flow that way. Sometimes bad people find good people, but I'm one of the people that don't let them around. So I only keep good company, man. At this point, I only keep good company, and I will quickly cut people off when they show their true colors and they're funky. Oh, we don't do that, man. But man,
you mean you're not open for a little conversation? It's harmless.
It's right. It's what I think what it boils down to for me is I have to go to sleep, and when I get in bed, I can pass out in under 30 seconds. That for me matters, because it leads to everything. I have great dreams. I have a happy wife. I know I'm going to wake up happy. And any time in my life I've lost sleep is because something is in the background going on that's weird or dark or funky. So I just don't, whether it's a person, something I did that I will have moments where I feel like I did something off, and I'll in the middle of the night send a message like, hey dude, this went on. I need to let you know. I don't know if you care, but I got to get it out of me. And so like, yeah, there are a lot of human beings that they just operate in such a dark space. Like, I don't do well with it. And I'm so anchored to me and my family. Like, I don't need to have other people to make me feel great. Other people make my life better. But like, if you aren't the right human, I'm not going to lose sleep over that. And I'm not going to have anything damage my life. So like, and this is a lesson for everybody. Like, find good people that actually, when you go to sleep at night, like you have a lightness to your life. And when you wake up in the morning, you're excited to go talk to them. I've been looking forward to talking to you today. Like, seriously, like I look forward to these things, right? It's not.
Find a tribe that's going after significance and not just success.
True.
That want to live and lead significant lives where they're helping other people around them win at levels that they've never won at before. Yeah. Anthony Trucks, 2 weeks, bro. I'll see you I'll see you 2 weeks from tomorrow.
That I will. Oh, it's so crazy. It comes so fast, man.
Isn't it? It's absolutely nuts, isn't it, bro? Well, listen, I love you, dude. Tell your wife and your amazing family that I said hello.
We'll do just say,
bro. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Hey guys, thank you for joining our Grow Stack Drive podcast. Grow Stack Drive, where we help business professionals build confidence, gain clarity, and create community. We'll be off on Monday. It's Memorial Day. We'll be back next Wednesday. I've got an unbelievable lineup next week. Carlos Reyes, Sharon Lecter, Bill Walsh, Tori Cruz. The list goes on and on and on. We're doing our GSD summer tour as we prepare for our Scottsdale boot camp. There are 6 tickets left. That's it. 6. growstackdrive.com/Scottsdale. You can grab one of those 6 tickets left. When they're gone, man. Anthony, I love you, buddy.
Love you too, man. Appreciate you.
Enjoy your day, homie.
Too.